Welcome to the Gaslight District. Hope you have ADHD, because Glitch made sure that your eyes were peeled and glued to the screen for 27 minutes. Do you guys even remember when this was announced during Glitch X 2023? No, me neither. But it is a new show Glitch animated, and it was created by Part-Time Seagull. I just realized this is my first Explain by a Moron I've made in almost 6 months, so what's a better way to bring back my slop content other than terrible jokes? Anyways, let's get into it. The episode starts off with some exposition from our glorious narrator that I will romanticize for the rest of the video. The world as we know it right now is dead. Humanity is all kinds of f***ed up, where everyone is granted immortality and is fighting for control of this little island that they call home. The citizens of the Gaslight District all believe in a prophecy that a human will be sent down from the heavens to wipe them all out, and the only way to figure out who it is by seeing if their blood is black. Little do they know that the human already lives amongst them as our main character, Melancholy Hill, or Mel for short. The episode really picks up the pace when a bug starts eating shit off the road and gets run over. The course of everyone's lives is forever changed because of this tragedy. Anyways, we get introduced to the rest of the Smiling Dead crime family. Mud, Breadhead, who is voiced by Gianni Machicano, significant, and their leader, Ken the Butcher. They're hunting down this guy named Jack, who's a no-good little narc that found out that Mel is the human. The way he finds out is probably the most unfortunate way possible. Mud blows Jack's fucking brains out, and Mel jumps out of the car onto the roof and starts barking at Ken. Mel jumps onto Jack's car and tries to kindly remind him that her blood is in fact purple. Jack crashes into the overpass sign and teaches Mel the concept of inertia as she is sent a few yards down the freeway. She's obviously bleeding and can't let people notice, but an angel is starting to stare her down. Yeah, so angels are all depicted as birds in the story. Why? I have no idea. Jack magnums into Ken, Breadhead, and Mud, which obviously does nothing. So as a last-ditch attempt to save his skin, he tries to expose Mel to Mud and Breadhead, but they just cement his hands and feet and send him down into the ocean below. We wind up in the Smiling Friends butcher shop where Mel is serving people food, bragging about how she can finally join them as an official member of the gang. Mud titty flicks Ken, telling him if he doesn't let Mel join, she's just going to find herself in more trouble on her own. Ken objects to this because he wants to keep her safe. We get some images that are straight out of a SpongeBob episode, and Mel explains to the group that she found the human egg, and that they could destroy it in front of everyone. The only problem that they face is that it's in heaven, and since they are ungodly beings like me, there's no way they're getting up easy, especially with the virtues. We get to see some unsightly images of a toenail being plucked, and everyone agrees to go get the egg. Ken takes Mel into the freezer to have a father-daughter talk to ask her what the hell is she thinking, since she's the only human down here. She explains to him that if they destroy this angel egg disguised as the human egg, no one would have a reason to suspect that she's the human, which is more of a problem than you think, since Mel seems to like to take the piss out of people by purposely telling them that she is the human so they can be cemented. Jack was the only person that found out by complete accident, since Mel decided to have a mid-episode goon session and her nose started bleeding. Ken agrees to help Mel out as long as she sticks by his side, and we could finally reward Ken with being the first father in any Glitch show not to neglect his daughter. The gang casually drives up to heaven because they can just do that, and stop at the gates of Paradise Lost. Diligence is one of the virtues at the gate, and as he checks the truck, he thunder chucks one of his soldiers onto a spike. The rest of them all pile up to be stepped on. Diligence allows Mud to pass the gates, and the gang finally makes it to a checkpoint into heaven. They strip these poor people of their clothes and break in. Redhead distracts the angels, Mud takes over the security room, and Ken and Mel just walk on by. Now, how has no one noticed that these two people look drastically different from the other guards in the checkpoint? Ken tells Mel to go up the elevator as he needs to take care of some unfinished business. As Mel walks up the stairway to heaven, Ken goes to kill another virtue named Temperance. Mel finds the egg only for it to be guarded by an old ass bird. Ken just rips this guy's fucking head off and eats his brain. Jesus Christ. Ken burns some evidence of Mel being the human as an alarm is set off that tells everyone that there are intruders. Mel and the angry bird are fighting each other for the egg, and I'm left wondering, why did the angel mother just, casually hold out the egg to Mel? Wait a second, rewind. This has so many implications. Anyways, Mel stabs the biggest bird in the head and runs. She falls off the stairway but is caught by Ken. Breadhead comes in last second to save their asses as Mud brings up the getaway vehicle. Breadhead jacks himself up and gets the truck away from the angels. Unfortunately, Diligence is still alive and he and Ken get into a scrap in the trailer. As the angels come down, Diligence is tossed into them and gets fucking disintegrated. Mel then drops the funny line. I'm so original. They get home and they begin the ritual by throwing up gang signs, and before Mel can destroy the egg, it hatches. So Mel and Ken get mobbed and they are left questioning what to do next. Our beautiful, glorious narrator returns to tease us that Jack might return to start spilling the beans that Mel is the human. Overall, I thought this was a pretty alright pilot, but this has to be one of the fastest paced episodes of anything I've ever seen from Glitch, and it also exposed my friend as a necrophiliac.
You guys are really good at finding stuff, right? Can somebody, there's something in it that I wonder if it's actually real. Can somebody get me Z's, what she's reading? Can somebody get me that?
Ooh, what?
Yeah,
Is it because the book was about women?
Alright, that's going in the VOD. That's going in the VOD.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's necrophilia.
That is actually necrophilia. That is
unironic necrophilia.
That is actually.
They're not dead. You can't.
Yes, they are.
They're not undead. Oh my god.
Totally. They're dead. They're dead. The style of the animation also reminds me of like Spider-Verse and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out like 2 years ago. I also like the subtle details in a couple scenes that would also tease more stuff for the potential season, but it also sucks that those are the same details that kind of lose any plot relevance within the same episode. Also, why are there worker drone bodies in the background? Is it just an Easter egg, or are they implying that these two shows are connected? Or maybe it's a mistake and I'm just going crazy. This pilot does not really have much to set up other than Mel just being exposed as the human and Ken facing the consequences of harboring her. But I can also appreciate Glitch for stepping out of their comfort zone and trying a whole new style of animation, and also trying to be a little bit more mature for their audience. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. And for the first time in this channel's history, we're gonna set a like goal. So if this video can get 1 like, I will make sure Sleepy Star does not stick his dick in the Bretthead plush.
Hear me out,
No, bro.
What the f do you mean hear you out?
Well, you,
Oh
what?
my
Jesus Christ.
Sleep, we can't.
No, do not stick your dick in there, Sleepy. No.
What?
Do not do it, Sleepy.
Oh my god.
Sleepy,
Sleepy,
I know there's a hole, but there's no goal. Don't do it.
Wait, we need sound.
See you in the next one.